Hello and welcome to a quick look. Me, GamerWolfSix, of another furry visual novel. This one, Journal, one that was suggested to me. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on HIATUS. They have a Patreon, but there's nothing on it at the moment. And if you want me to play this game, then tell me, and I'll give it a point, which will put it higher on the list. So, it says this game is semi-linear. I've seen some other games say that, I have no idea what that means. Like, I don't know, I guess it goes back in time a little bit. Romance, for a fantasy visual novel, with a major focus on character Google Wolf and daily life struggles. Yes, I read the description. Anyways, let's reset my face and start. Boom. And keep an eye on the audio. Actually, let's move these guys over here. And let's be Lucas. You're enabling the game's secret mode. Okay, this mode unlocks secret scenes that may or may not help you make difficult choice ahead in the story. Like which boys to kiss? It says 18 plus, but I'm not sure. You'd have to see him. It's furry. The game is divided into days. It is highly recommended that to play the day on the normal mode first, then go back and play these scenes once you're finished. Like, secret scenes? Also, if you want to be called Lucas, but do not want to activate the secret mode, just type it in. Mode will only activate if you press enter without anything there. Oh, woo. With that out of your way, are you sure want to continue? Oh, woo. Yes. Oh, I have to click. Secret mode. You're completely sure. I personally think you should leave the game on numbers. Then once you've finished your preferred route, go back and see these scenes. And make sure it's not organized. Don't want to make the same choices in both modes. Right? Okay. Wise choice. Because it's not a winner will. Oh, I guess I should just type it in. Lucas. Day 1, August 24th. The sun shone through the cloud window, warming my numb face in this bleak morning. Along with it, there's a slight breeze. It squeezed just strongly enough. Strongly enough to make me realize that I've been looking at my empty cereal bowl for 5 minutes straight. Considering the amount of the noise coming from outside, it didn't take a genius to realize I was already late. I'm not a morning guy, not because waking up is difficult, but because of the overwhelming amount of chores I dramatically go over. Dramatically? Okay. And over before I start the day. I sighed and decided to take the stick out of my arse before leaving the house. Today has to be a good day after all. Mom, I'm leaving now. I'll be back in a couple of hours. Wait, Lucas, give me a good luck kiss for today. I really have to get going. Love you and see you later. That is like always a weird thing that I is saying in something I've seen, which is, do you kiss your mother with that mouth? I remember seeing one of my friends kiss their mother on the mouth, and I'm like, okay. You guys do that? Okay. I subconsciously stretch my arms, the weight of my backpack, hoping the motion. Well, it's time to start the day. Now, in which direction was my new school? I looked at the map on my phone one last time to verify I'm following the path I obsessively memorized. I always get overstressed by the first day of class, so I wasn't too surprised to feel on edge until I knew everything about the school, from the location to its reputation. And, well, I have to say, I'm weirdly confident. I clutched my backpack, took a deep breath, and started jogging down my neighborhood. Today is the first day of my senior year in high school. I had a piece of toast in my mouth and was running. Oh no, van! Now, logic would dictate I'm excited about this final year, being so close to college, independence, and all that stereotypical stuff. But if I'm being honest with myself, I'd rather do anything than go to school in the first week. The first week sucks. All we do are cringe introductions while the day progresses impossibly slow. Also, since this is a different school, I don't have anyone to hang out around with. So if it was agonizing before, this year is going to be a treat. Yeah, that's always a pain in the arse. Like, if you're going from middle school to high school and you're like in freshman, that's not easy, but it's, manageable. But if you're going into like senior year of a different school, pain in the arse. Because everybody got their thing, The thought of smelly teens and loud noises made me shiver subconsciously. And not to be a picky eater, but I saw some reviews online about how getting food poisoning wasn't that uncommon there. Don't you bring food to school? Ever since last year, I picked up the habit of running in the mornings. Though I'd rather stay inside, sleeping, especially at the crack of dawn. I thought it would be a good routine to start. Before life got too hectic, around 2 or 3 years ago, I was on the track team. It was something I truly loved with every fiber of my being. Heavy fingers, and decided to give it a chance again. Hence, I am now trying to jog in the mornings, since in the afternoon it's a pain in the ass. It's also a really good way of preparing for class. It's a foolproof method to be completely awake for the first period. I like to be that yawning right now, but I didn't go to the gym today. But for some reason, reading visual novels just makes me yawn. Don't know why. Maybe less breath in my lungs and all that. And so far, it's improved my mental a ton. So far, it's improved my mental a ton. Print screen. I usually don't get up this early, but today is a special occasion. Again, I'm yawning. What the fuck? Since today's the first day, it means that whatever seat we choose will be one we will have for the rest of the school year. And I have to make sure that window seat is mine. After some walking, I passed through a house I recognized pretty well. I saluted the kind old lady who was smiling brightly at me. I was thinking like right through. On summer break, she used to watch me pass in the mornings each day. God, maybe I should have had a cup of coffee. I was severely creeped out and a bit concerned with the lady's passage of time. But one day, when I was slipping by, she motioned me to get near her. I was pretty cautious at first. I thought she would be an evil grandma that was going to ask me to run more quietly or something. Instead, I met this extremely kind old lady who offered me a cup of tea and a good conversation. I'd like a cup of coffee right now. Woof. It's before dinner, so it do be like that. It wasn't a particularly long day today, though. Well, actually, never mind, it kind of was. Anyways, it was pretty weird. I thought she had me confused for somebody else, but she just wanted to talk to somebody. She's a widow to an ex-Marine who used to run in the mornings, so she wanted to talk to me about it. Still, she told me that it took her a bit of time to summon the courage to ask for my attention. And that completely won me over. Even though I never met my grandparents, I had this weird idea about how old people are evil. But she's one of the sweetest persons I know, and even though we have a giant age gap, I would like to think we're of us as friends. Actually, I think she's my only friend right now. Now that I think about it, damn it, that's like the, 7th time? Well, that's a bit depressing to think about. Regardless, the lady, whose name is Margaret, instantly recognized me and smiled wildly as I passed through the street. Maybe I need to make decaf or no, not decaf, an espresso before we do these things. I told her today was my first day of school, last time we met, so that's probably why she's watching me through the window on the other side of her house, where I don't think I've seen her. She was just so pure and nice. So pure. I should be just 10 minutes away now. Good. For some reason, Mom decided to enroll me in a school before last year even ended. I heard it had some pretty nice extracurricular activities. They're known for having clubs about almost everything. I mean, I probably won't be joining any, but it does speak well for the school to be so inclined in non-academic stuff. Well, it could be the wrong end. Who knows? It could be just the wrong. I could just be wrong. Could just be wrong in the end. God, I swear I can read. The other thing I hope is that this year goes as fast as possible. Also to blend in, I want to be as a nurse as possible. Which I think won't be a problem. Everyone knows each other this far in high school, so the social groups are most likely closed. There are two parts of me. One that wants to talk to everyone and have friends. The half I am pridefully known for. Then the other part of me who just wants to be a loner in the window seat. Had someone in the past seen me like this? Would they believe it's me? Is this me? What the fuck, asshole? Do you drive with your eyes closed? The traffic light was on green, you stupid bitch. They continue to squabble until they're out of ear range. I should pick up the pace if one secure the window spots. My light jog transformed into a stronger one. To anyone not familiar with athleticism, it would look like this was a full-on run. But this isn't my full power. For a brief moment, I considered going as fast as I could, but disregarded the idea as fast as it came. If I were to run, I'd probably be stinky when I arrive. Am I a hyena? I mean, I did bring a deodorant for emergencies, but it would be a bit gross to sit around with dried sweat for 8 hours. Or, living in Texas where there's all that humidity. 8 hours. God have mercy. My mind was blank for the rest of the road, focusing on my breathing. St. Paul's Regional High School. So is this supposed to be like in Japan or something? I mean, St. Paul's sounds, I don't know, Canadian, but this kind of looks Japanesey, except without the suicide guards on the top of the building. I think that's what they are. I'm not sure. So, this is my new school now. I muttered to myself, the enormous building in front of me standing proud in the chilly morning. I heard the groans of some students as they stood behind me, wishing to have another fate. I even heard one of them say, fuck me bareback and call me Tiffany. Whatever the hell that means. I don't want to be here. I've always hated specifically the first day. I just end up making a mess of the introduction in the end. And when you stare at the disinterest of the students, when you introduce yourself, you realize you are just at the beginning of an extremely boring road called school, where things really are rock bottom. At least you can only go up from there, theoretically. God, I can already imagine myself. Hello, my name is Lucas. I like video games. Hehehehe. I'm also a femboy. More friendly though, I practice my introduction beforehand, so I don't end up making a fool out of myself. Who would have thought that the mirror could be a good ally? I really felt lame doing it, but it's better to embarrass myself when nobody else can see me instead of a room full of judgy teens. Also, nobody will ever know that's a plus. If I'm not misremembering, the school is also known for having really good teachers, so maybe classes won't be as agoniz- agonizing. I'm not gonna get my expectations high though. God, several times with this Let's Play, I'm like, I might want to redo this because I am yawning a whole bunch and I can't read. But then that would put it off to like another day or two. And I just kind of want to, check each one of these out. Even if I be yachty body. Should have had coffee. After all, regardless of ratings and reviews, this is a high school. I clutched my backpack and started walking towards the entrance. Luckily, I was walking in the same horde as some random students, so to avoid, well, being me, I decided to focus on the conversation. There were 3 girls talking, all of whom had pretty reasonable clothes for school, but hell, even I had to admit they looked good in them. The fact that I wasn't gay was actually quite surprising in the furry community. Anyways, but aren't they freezing? It's chilly outside, and they're practically naked. I'm so glad I don't have any reputation to maintain with appearances and stuff. That sounds like a pain in the ass. I continued to follow them deeper into the school, just watching them complain about stupid stuff. It was quite entertaining, actually. One of the girls looked back to the entrance of the school and saw me staring at them from 2 feet behind. But instead of making a scene or something, she just smiled awkwardly and proceeded to ignore me. Thank you, kind stranger. So, as I was saying, Gina Holland and Caroline, told Jay, I only have sex with you if you beat me at pool. Ooh woo. And then she lost at pool. Deliberately. Ooh woo. This is so awesome. Brooke. Slutty. Apparently, the one who smiled at me was called Brooke, who got flustered at being yelled at. Sure you do. And you are still a size 0 after summer break. Let me guess. You bet I am. Pregnant. Instead of making a scene like you expect from a popular high school girl, she patted her flat stomach and took the joke lightly. I decided to walk a little slower so they could get ahead of me. I should mind my own business. I was lucky that the girl from the middle didn't notice me. She sounds like someone who would be over-exaggerated and make a scene. And I don't really want to lose any more time, but there's gossip to get. As I started walking into the school deeper and deeper, I realized I was so focused on the conversation it turned out that the really loud sounds everyone else was making had tuned out. The contrast from one moment to another was unexpected, and it threw me a bit off guard. It wasn't unbearable, but still a bit baffling. The school was packed with people from a variety of different races, the majority of which were canines or felines. Anyhow, every single social group was hanging out with their respective friends, being loud and talking about the interests far away from the rest of the students. The division was comically noticeable from looking for less than a minute. I could see the nerds, the geeks, the emos, and what would seem to be jocks and/or the popular kids. I wonder what social group I belonged to in my last school, since I don't really see myself fitting any label. I was never the most popular guy around, but everyone seemed to know who I was from a packed crowd. I was always really nice with everyone, and could hold good conversations with all of them, even making them enjoy my company in the process. But at the end of the day, I always stayed with the same 2 people. I don't have a single memory where I'm not hanging around them. Even back to when I was a toddler, they were always there. being the people I grew to love. But now that they're gone, I really need to start working on my social skills. So dead, or like they move somewhere else, or I move somewhere else. I actually was really good with people before last year, but ever since that happened, I kinda got isolated from everyone. And I think my social grace suffered the most out of the situation. Now, I just feel awkward with new people and can't hold a conversation at all. It do be like that sometimes. I also feel more judgy than before. Though, I was pretty miserable during that time. I can't lie and say I just suffered. It wasn't an easy situation, but some people have it worse. And after it all ended, I think I ended up becoming a better friend, a better son, and a better brother. The twins can verify that last one. Focus on the here and now, Lucas. New year right. I analyze the crowded hall. Fuck, I can read. It's still quite early. There are no classes for around an hour. So why are there so many people here? Wait, there are no classes for around an hour and everybody's... Why? Well, I'm not going to ask, so I just assume people got lonely during summer vacation and are excited to see their friends again. You can see your friends during summer, you know. As I walked deeper into the halls, the smell started to get stronger and stronger until I started to feel the stench of teen hormones combined with moisture. The scent impregnated the air rather strongly now that I'm a bit far from the entrance. Ooh, ooh. I looked around, analyzing people near me, smelling their musk, and realized most of these guys had some sort of sports uniform. Oh, that's probably why there are so many people. They just have a sports team that practices before class. There was the time my brother had to wake up at 4:30 a.m. because of football practice at our last school. He hated it. He was never a Mormon person. Yeah, I would hate that too. Granted, at work I do wake up at 6 p.m. and go to bed at 6 a.m. because I usually do the night shift. It's on a boat, so it isn't as bad. Since today's the first day, there must be tryouts for a team or something like that. Well, regardless if they are from a sports team or not, people need to leave their excuses and shower. I have respect for other people, at least. With the end of my rant, I decided I had wandered around long enough, and it was now time to get to my classroom. I reached out to a folded piece of paper that was resting in my pocket. After unfolding it, I found my information there, along with my schedule. Lucas Noir, September 7th, 20XX. Why did it say XX? Senior year, class 4A. Locker 414. No clubs registered. Okay, so class 4A? I'm currently standing on the bottom floor, in the far end of the corridor to be specific, where I'm pretty sure those guys were getting high at. I shouldn't have let mom change me from my old school. It wasn't the best, but people weren't getting high in the corner. Well, that's out of my hands, so I'll ignore it like a big boy I am. I peeked my head into the classroom in front of me, who had a professor taking his stuff out of his bag, probably preparing for the first day. I looked at the tag at the front of the door, which said 1C. Heh, this must be the classroom for the first years. I'm so glad I'm past that age. I was a hormonal mess when I was 14, banging chicks left-right. We're playing Meat Beat Mania. I was lucky my friends were worse than me, so people always focused on them for being rats and forgot about little old me. Rats? I don't know. Good times. Anyway, I'm guessing the first floor is all for first years. I quickly jogged to the adjacent room to check. 1D. So if the first floor is the first years, then my classroom must be on the 4th floor, right? No time to waste then. I started walking up the stairs as soon as I found them. As I went up the steps, I saw less and less people hanging around the halls of their respective floors. I guess only the first years get excited for school. Or it could be that everyone's just hanging around the entrance, which coincidentally was on the 1st floor. Yet again, I'm not gonna bother to ask for such triviality. God, you could imagine if my classroom only had around 15 people. It would be nice to have a smaller class for change. On the negative side, if there were less people, then blending in would be a bit harder. But not impossible. Well, as long as I get my window seat, then there can be 30 or 50 people. It's just so nice to stare into the sky while listening to a lecture. It's a surprisingly good way of studying too. I remember how my old teachers would get surprised when I got high notes on exams and quizzes. I'm proud of being a fast learner. But what also helped was that I had to tutor my brother, who was kind of an idiot when it came to academies. Well, an idiot overall. He flicked me off. So many times because of it. He was super annoyed to see that I did well and he didn't, or putting in the same amount of effort. He was street smart though. He was extremely perceptive with people, from body language to talking. That's probably why so many people feared him. I suppose it would be creepy to see a tall guy just staring at you, judgingly. His choice of clothing didn't make him the most approachable either. He always had his signature leather jacket and ripped jeans with him. He liked being the bad boy, but he was really more like a huge loser trying to be cool. When I told him that, he yet again told me to fuck off. While laughing, of course. The 4th floor was almost no one here. The 4th floor has almost no one here. Nice. So, now I have to find my classroom. Ow! Just as I'm about to turn to my left, a strong body collided against me. We both fell to the ground, earning snickers and surprised looks by the 5 students hanging near the lockers. I could feel my face getting hotter as a result. I swear I can read. If I had to say I had a body of any kind of people, it'd be kind of like this. Maybe not when I'm wearing my usual t-shirt, but when I'm wearing my, exercise stuff. Yeah, prettier. Maybe a bit bigger on the top. Ooh. In front of me, lying on the ground, was a guy who also fell due to the impact. I stood up quickly, grimacing a little at the pain in my butt, but extended a hand to help nonetheless. Hey, are you okay? I think you fell even harder than I did. The canine looked at my hand with surprise, but smiled nevertheless, as he took it with a strong grip. For a second, I thought you were going to tell me, "I think you fell for me," joke. He was super gay. How's the audio? Yeah, it's good. I'm just trying to think, is this Spanishy joke? Music? Kinda sounds like, I don't know. Anyways, he maintained his bright smile. And I'm fine, by the way. Oh, so fine. A simple accent like this is not enough to take me down, but I'd like to take you down if you know what I mean. He answered loudly, his voice so thunderous, I actually cowered a bit at it. Oh, I probably would have made the joke had it not been this early. I'm not exactly awake if I'm being honest. I tried to mirror a smile, attempting to be friendly. Thankfully, he seemed to notice my attempt. I'm Lucas. A pleasure. Derek. Likewise. Anyways, I'm sorry for bumping into you. I wasn't really looking. I saw him discreetly rubbing the side of his butt. Heh, don't worry about it. It's gonna take more to do damage to this guy. He pointed to himself with his thumb, showing me a big smile in the process. Are you sure? You're still rubbing your ass. He cocked an eyebrow with a playful manner. Oh, I just like touching my body. I'm just rubbing my butt as a coincidence. It do be like that. He winked at me while flexing. He was understandably proud of himself, having a lot of muscle in his upper body. He caught me staring at his arms, then purposely pressed them against his chest to make him look bigger. Okay, sometimes, I like stretching because I just stretch. I'm a tired boy, but sometimes I like doing that thing where you put both of your hands behind your back and your arms kind of over your head and just just stretching with my big old arms here. Yeah, gonna flex and point that way. It do be like that sometimes. Hey, what's that word? Starts with a C. Confidence isn't high, but doing muscle stuff makes it slightly higher. Here, check this out. Ooh. He drops down on the floor and starts doing push-ups. I thought he was doing squats. Huh, what a guy. You do have a lot of muscle. You must be a success with the ladies then. Nah, I like dick. Who the hell says that? You practice conversation starters, Lucas. I'm improvising. Improvising is not your thing. Stick to the original plan. Well, it would be a waste not to use this body, you know? Yeah, I wish I used my body, more often. I just don't find a lot of people tracking and stuff, and also I'm shy. Shit, now he's going to talk about his sex life. But I didn't get ripped just because I wouldn't get laid. I did it because I want to join another sports team this year. So I wasted no time getting ahead of everyone. Oh, a sports team? That sounds cool. It is. Last year, I was on the football team. In my sophomore year, I was on the dodgeball team. In the freshman year, I was on the soccer team. I want to be the best at everything. I want to be at the universities. I want all the universities of the world to see my talent. He posed like I've seen heroes do in comics after they've won a battle. I wish I had that self-confidence, just randomly telling the story of my life to a stranger. While he kept doing his poses, I couldn't help but stare at this peculiar canine. He was. Give me a sec. Sorry for that cut. I really thought I heard somebody knocking on my door and I was like, no turn? Anybody there? Nope. Okay. Anyways, he was, as he's seen before, really buff. He was also on the taller side of the spectrum, having around 3 inches on me, and also 5 inches more in height. Ooh. And I'm not small. I'm around 5'9". Hey, 5'9 club. His whole vibe as a persona shouted jock, but he was more down to earth compared to what the stereotype suggests. Down to earth would not be what I would say about him. Or maybe I'm thinking of confidence. Anyways, his eagerness caught me a bit off guard though. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's kind of difficult to follow his pace. Okay, I should probably look at what down to earth means. Or maybe I'm just too tired and feel like everything's going too fast. Yeah, that's probably it. I shouldn't just put a label on a guy after the first 5 minutes of meeting him. That's shallow. I've cleared my throat to prepare my voice. This is my chance to socialize like a normal person. To be normal, Lucas. I'm sure you'll get in. You sound determined and look more than fit enough to get in. I felt my smile tremble, probably looking fake. Thankfully, he doesn't seem to notice, or care. I know, right? God, I'm so pumped up, man. Also, a scholarship wouldn't that resembled his phone notification came out of his left pocket. "Oh, sorry, just one sec." He took a minute to read that. Then he peeled his eyes and slowly got away from me. "Oh shit, sorry dude, I gotta get going. I forgot someone was waiting for me. Ooh woo." Little bro is his first year and is scared to leave the bathroom. Aw. He has volleyball tryouts, you see. He inflated his chest proudly. "You got any bravos?" "Yeah, twins. The twins are 8, boy and girl." There's quite a difference. That's like 10 years difference. Nice. "Gonna run. See you later." He started jogging down the stairs. "Wait, Derek, before you go, do you know where classroom 4A is? It's on this floor, right?" "Oh, you're in the same class as me. And it's the very last classroom in that way." He pointed to my right. "Thank you." "No problem, dude. See you later." He started jumping down the stairs 2 at a time. As I started walking towards the class. He seemed... cool. There's a star thingy right there. What happens if I click the other thing? Too much for me. Okay. He seemed nice, just a bit energetic. And physical. Ooh. I readjusted my backpack, which had loosened up thanks to Derek's shuffling, then started looking for my locker. The air in the hallway felt really nice. It was a bit stronger from the bottom floor, but not hard enough to be uncomfortable, like in stench. Locker 414. Here we are. The locker is spacious, and I don't really use a lot of notebooks, so I have some free space. I really only use notebooks for science and one for math. You know, when I was in high school, never used a locker. Maybe I should bring an extra pair of clothes or something like that. It may be useful. After putting my things in and setting the passcode, I went to my classroom, which was exactly in front of my locker. Nice. I extended my hand and grabbed the handle of the door. I tried to open it, but it felt like it was locked. Is this one of the doors where you have to turn it towards you? I tried that, but didn't budge. Maybe someone locked the door from the inside? I looked through the hallway window. Out of the 3 people there, only one saw me. Toriel? It was an average girl with light-colored clothes. I started to make gestures, so she understood that I couldn't open the door. She seemed to understand quickly, and got up to my aid. You have to pull, then push. When you push, be sure to do it quickly or it won't budge. She looked at the top of my chest with her eye level, and her gaze slowly shifted until her eyes met mine, making some intense eye contact. She blushed quite hard as she saw my face, and I kinda just stared past her head to my eye level, pretending to ignore her gawk. I cleared my throat. "Thank you. I was kinda struggling." The girl just kept staring at me while blushing. "Are you feeling okay?" "Yes." She started making me cower a little bit. "Sorry." She started to tremble lightly. "Are you sure you're okay?" I put my hand on her shoulder and smiled lightly. Maybe she is also bad with new people. She just blushed harder and started sweating. "Do you need me to take you to the infirmary?" "Don't worry, I hear they have the best Tylenol." I could finally feel her eyes off me, and she looked at the floor while she hugged herself. "I'm perfect, don't worry." "No, wait, I'm just fine." Her pupils dilated a bit, and she resumed her staring. "Don't judge, Lucas. Don't judge. Don't judge. She is hormonally in love with me." I sighed and shook my head, forcing the unnerving feeling out of my body. "I'm Lucas. A pleasure?" "Sorry, I'm not the best with new people. I'm Amy. A pleasure." She seemed more collected, and she was still trembling a bit. I know the feeling of not being able to communicate with new people very well, so I couldn't help but empathize a bit with her. And not feeling sick, I just always perspired this much. Don't worry about it. She smiled, excitedly to mask her awkwardness. It's okay. I'm not a social butterfly either. I get it. Oh wait, the classroom. Is my seat taken? Looked past the girl to get a look at the window seat. It was still unoccupied. On the seat in front of the one I wanted was a black wolf, looking out the window with a frown on his face. He had pretty broad shoulders and a face that did everything but invite you to approach. That's good. I'm gonna be able to hide behind him, and the teacher won't even see me from his desk. Nice. I quickly went to drop my backpack there. Anyway, oh no wait, aw, Amy, look at you. You were completely ignored by the new guy. He probably also knows that you're a disgrace. I mean, just look at you. You're completely soaked. It's really gross, you know? Hey, new guy, doesn't she remind you of a traumatized child? Surprisingly, her trembling stopped as soon as she heard the cat's sentence. Her expression immediately switched to annoyance. The cat had a playful look on his face. It reminded me of the look that I'd seen children do when they're misbehaving. Shut up, asswipe. As I would say make me, but I don't want to get touched by you and your wetness. It's the closet you'll never get. It's the closest you'll ever get to touching a woman either way. Fuck. I'm sorry that this quick look is an absolute trash fire for me. Maybe I shouldn't do quick looks when I'm hungry and dinner is gonna be served in a bit, and also I'm too wooed, and also a long day, but I just want to knock this one out, you know? It was the game that the random number generator picked. Anyways, yeah, I might as well retouch my face, check the time. Okay, 15 minutes. Who would want to touch a woman if they were like you? I don't know. Sweaty women? Maybe. I sat down on the seat and looked outside the window, gazing at the beautiful scenery as the clouds were displaying for me. Ignoring the fighting I heard as background noise. I now heard. Well, they weren't really fighting, more like annoyingly bickering. I looked back to check, and the cat just kept a smug grin on him as he kept insulting her, and she switched from annoyed to embarrassed back and forth. And I just sat there, looking at the sky while pretending not to hear them. And after a bit of their bickering, they started talking like normal people. Do you think he thinks I'm weird? She asked him discreetly, but I could see her expression thanks to the reflection of the window. She was trying to look subtly at me. Feeling quite miserably at the subtly part. Please shut up. I can't even hear myself losing the will to live. Oh, come on, Nico. Aren't we friends? We've talked twice, including this time. Then what? That's not an invitation to increase the number, by the way. Alright, I'll leave. Jeez. You know I'm gonna grow up, gonna have big titties, and everybody's gonna call me Moof Mommy. Gonna want my pies. Both of them. Anyways, she got up offended, and decided to sit in the middle of the back row, 2 seats away from me. I could tell she wanted to start a conversation with me again. I could hear small whispers, practicing conversation starters. But before she could make the move, the cat, who apparently named Nico, shot up from his seat, and with a villain grin on his face, approached me. Please don't attack me. Hello there, I'm Nico. What's your name, kid? He extended his hand, and I shook it lightly. He had soft faux, resulting in a pleasant feeling, brushing his hand against mine. I'm Lucas. A pleasure. After a weak, awkward smile. Well, Lucas, I came here just to tell you that you look like a complete nerd. Even though it was supposed to be a degradatory statement, his smile and tone made me doubt that. Thank you? He stared at me for a couple of seconds, his intense gaze piercing deeply into my soul. Whoa. Everyone here is so weird. Nah, not even a nerd. You're super nerd. You just look sad. Oh. Okay. He chuckled. Hey, come on now. I was just joking. I don't think I look like a nerd. I just have a plain t-shirt and some jeans. Something that's comfy enough and looks well. Don't overthink it, buddy. Because thinking is not your strong suit. He punched my shoulder playfully. Well, bye-bye. He turned around and, with his back to me, waved as he went back to a seat in the front row, right in front of the professor's desk. Just one more year. Sometime later. I saw Derek join the class sometime later, flashing me a smile as he sat down on a random seat. After that, the seats started to fill until there were none left, leaving the student mark at a solid 25. And there's desks upside down, chairs upside down. It could be worse. As I analyzed the rest of the room, I was surprised to notice that the variety of races was surprisingly low now. There were mainly only felines and canines. And out of all the canines, I think I'm going to be the only fox this year, just like the rest of the 3 previous years in high school. Now that I think about it, it's been a while since I've seen a fox. Just wolves and dogs here, and they're out of canines as well. Well, with the exception of the rare coyote or jackal. Ooh, jackal boys. Now that I think about it, not only are foxes rare now, but I don't think I've seen a small canine in a while. I shouldn't really give it a lot of thought. It's probably just a regional thing. No, we need to breed a whole bunch. And I don't just mean the men. I'm meaning like the women. Get preggers. As my mind began to wander around, I decided to entertain the first thought that came to mind, which is of course about them. I wonder if they would like the school. Oh, the 2 people they are not here anymore? Ethan would probably be complaining and knowing me about something that doesn't even make sense while Emma tries to shut him up. Well, it's going to be a long year, isn't it? Let's see what that thing could be suited of. Still some black pens. Placeholder. Shortly before the bell, a male figure entered the classroom in a hurry, then sat at the professor's desk, pulling out papers from his briefcase. Sorry for being late, students. I don't even have an image. I was held back by the principal. Annoyed little fucker. Some snickers were heard from the inner turn of his retort. Listen here, you punks. I am Professor Richard, and I will be your teacher for this last year before you become a slave to capitalism like the rest of the adults. No, you're not allowed to call me Dick or any other nickname. He glared at the room, his gaze falling on me for a split second. Let's try to make this year enjoyable, okay? Also, here's the thing. Maybe this is an American Texas thing. I would think that high school teachers would be more pro-capitalism. It'd be college professors that wouldn't be. Unless you go to like one of those, Christian or like right-wing at school colleges. Which there aren't a lot of like right-wing colleges that exclude the religious aspect, His bored expression betrayed his attempt with an excited tone. So, the school's budget here is low since there are some things that I can't really explain to you. But long story short, I'm going to be your professor for almost all of your classes, even though I'm only qualified for physics. Cleared his throat. The only classes I won't teach you are your clubs, your preferred second language, and your PE. Any questions? Nobody said a word. The teacher took that as an approval sign. Good. Now that I've been reminded multiple times that making connections before college is important and blah blah blah. So grab the person closest to you and turn your desk. You have 10 minutes to get to know each other. I have to continue my talk with the principal. Behave while I'm gone. I saw some students in the middle row raise their hands. That means no smoking, no masturbation, no drugs, no yelling, and no food. I'm sure you don't want to get punished on the first day of school, so calm your hormones. Damn, no masturbating? I can't say I've ever done that in high school. College, that's another thing. Boy, college. It do be like that sometimes. Not in class, though. Anyways, all the raised hands were lowered. You didn't say sex. Why is masturbation on that list? He rushed out the door at a hurried pace. Before he left, he gave us one last look. I'm serious. Get to know each other. Make new friends. You never know if one of your peers might land you a job. It do be like that, I guess? His annoyed expression softened a bit before he left the classroom. Some people immediately turned their desk in the direction of a random person, while some other people just straight up walked out of the classroom. Meanwhile, I sat there dumbfounded. Well, better not make the professor mad on the first day, so I might as well talk to somebody. I only had two possible options. The wolf in front of me, or the guy to my right, who served as a shield from Amy. Only one option now. The guy to my right, though Amy was talking to him when she was trying to grab my attention, while I pretended not to notice, so they ended up talking. Okay. Sometimes reading a sentence, you have to read, the entirety of it to make sense of the first part of it, because it do be like that sometimes. So, my only option was the wolf in front of me. Just be cool, Lucas, carefree and confident. I tapped his right shoulder twice. His head snapped quickly to my direction, making me stumble a bit in my seat. His eyes made intense contact with mine, his strong gaze making me feel smaller. Nice reflex there, brah. I'm Lucas. A pleasure. I extended a hand for a handshake. He had a frown on his face. A frown I couldn't tell if it was directed to me or the entire situation. Probably both. When he turned his torso to face me properly, I could tell that the guy was a bit buffer than I thought he was when I first saw him in class. He has man boobs. I kept my hand extended, even when he made no intention of shaking it. He was just staring at it, judgingly. Hey, come on now, don't leave me hanging, bruh. I laughed lightly, trying to ease the situation. It didn't seem to work in the slightest. I have a habit of constantly laughing in a conversation with people just met. It tends to make the other person feel more comfortable around me. I didn't know it had that effect, but it was once pointed out to me, and I thought it was pretty accurate. The wolf inhaled, and then extended his hand and shook mine, a bit roughly than necessary, more rough. I grimaced a bit, but kept my smile on regardless. May I have your name? He didn't answer right away. He just stared as he seemed to think of his answer. Zach. His voice was rough and deep. It completely complemented his face and body. Who all screamed, "Stay away from me, or I'll murder you." Which was what I wanted to do. Him murder me, or me murder him? A pleasure. We kind of nodded, then looked out the window. Well, that was rude. Hey, sorry to bother you again, but I was thinking we could do the assignment. We could do the assignment together. we could finish it pretty quickly, so you can get back to, being alone. Nice conversation opener. You sure sound cool. I can tell you're not much of a talker, so why don't you tell me something... Why don't I tell you something about... So why don't I tell you something about me and you tell me something in return? I looked at him and waited for an answer. His untrusting eyes analyzed me yet again. Then he shrugged carelessly. Let's get this over with. Perfect. Well, my favorite color is purple. What about yours? Gray. Oh, nice. You're probably the first person I know to have a gray as their favorite color. Why am I so awkward? Are we done now? Just a couple more questions, okay? I laughed yet again at the end of the sentence to try and ease them up. Again, it failed. My favorite subject is... science! I wonder if this thing that will make him actually like me. I liked math when I was a kid. Let's do math. He's kind of non-improvable, as he waited for me to keep the little dynamic we had going on. What about you? Science. Okay, what if I did science? Because science would be the other thing. Me too. Which one is my favorite, though? Probably physics. And physics. He's kind of non-improvable. As he waited for me to keep the little dynamic we had going on. Anyways, what do you do as a hobby? I enjoy writing. I enjoy writing quite a bit. Why don't you do the other ones? Chemistry. Oh, he likes biology. Ooh, ooh. Hobby. I still have to pick yet again. I fell out of it after that event happened, and to be honest, I miss it. Maybe I'll try again later today. I have an idea of a story. Ah, fuck! I guess it has been a rough couple of days, to be honest. I guess this is like... When did I do that last video? Sorry, I'm just kind of curious. Quick plays. That was... Okay, that was around that time. That's fine. It's just been kind of a rough week-ish. And a story to put on paper. Exercise. Oh, nice. Any in particular? He shrugged his shoulders. What's your favorite food? I don't have favorites, if I'm completely honest. I smiled sheepishly. Meat. Oh yeah, meat's good. Yummy meat. Especially cock. Anyways, he arched his eyebrow judgingly. Again. They say that out loud? Well, I just want to die now. What an awkward experience. I got up flushed and looked down. Thankfully, the teacher in the classroom shortly after that. We're 10 minutes into the year, and I already want to cry. Nice. Sorry for the hold-up, but there was a bit of a disagreement, but it's solved now. He leaned in a cool way against the empty whiteboard, watched us all with analyzed eyes. I saw his eyes scan the room. His eyes stopped briefly in each of us, then stopped abruptly in a nearby spot to my right. You, girl, what's your name? Me, I'm Amy Adams, sir. So superhero because she has the same first letter. Her voice was more confident than I expected. I guess she's just awkward with guys her age. Who did you work with? She looked flustered, and she realized the entire class was looking at her, then pointed to the guy who sat between us. What's his name? She blushed and looked at the floor, not muttering a word. Nobody made a sound, beside Nico, who snickered, not so subtly, all the way in the front row. Yeah, I should have known y'all wouldn't do shit if I'm not here to force you. He opened his folder and pulled out paper. I have to roll call. I have to call row. When I say your name, I'll say your list number as well. I'm not going to do it twice, so here, and remember well. Got it? Nobody answered. Am I clear? Yes, sir. Good. We started the call. Of the 25 people in the room, I was the 13th alphabetically. After he finished, he sat down at his desk and pulled another paper. This is your last year, so you have to make new friends, okay? Joke's bad. He stopped trying to mask his annoyance. It's the first day, and he's already lost his patience. We're gonna do this activity. Again. He grunted. I'm gonna say your list number, and which team you belong to. There are going to be 5 teams of 5. Join a team and talk with them. If you don't talk, you'll be in trouble. Simple, right? He started to say some random numbers and their team number, people making noises with the chairs and desks as they dragged across the room. Lastly, Team 5 consists of 1, 7, 12, 13, and 21. The principal is forcing me to do this, and if I don't follow their orders, I'm gonna get fired. So, when I start asking questions about your peers, you best know the answers, or I'm taking your grades down. You have 10 minutes. He shot out of the room. After he finished, he sighed and sat down at his desk, rubbing his eyes. Not even the teacher likes it here. I just stayed in the very far corner of the classroom, hoping that someone from the team would recognize me. Amy approached me with a kind smile, being completely different compared to herself from an hour ago. Hey Lucas, you're on Team 5, right? Yeah, I'm number 13. Amy opened her mouth. Before she could speak, I saw Zach turn his desk towards us. Okay, so I guess it's those two, and then it'll be the annoying guy and the jock. Hi, are you Team 5? Zach nodded and looked at the ground interestedly. Well, now we're only missing 2 people. Should we ask or wait for them to come? As if on cue, Nico dragged his chair towards us, making a lot of noise. Given his first impression, I could bet he was doing it on purpose to annoy people. Hello and welcome. I'm gonna be a streamer. We are on the same level. We're on the same team, Lucas. Guess fate wanted us to meet, huh? He looked cockily at Amy, who was uncomfortable with the situation. I chuckled dismissively and smiled at him. You shouldn't sit close to him. You're going to scare him away. He just shrugged. I've never seen someone with your fur color before. You're so unique. Only an idiot would miss his clearly fake tone. I looked at Amy, who was pretty worked up by the cat's actions. Sup, y'all on Team 5? So I guess with us hitting the 1 hour mark, and with the entire cast of characters here, it's a good time to call it. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching. Sorry, I'm fucking drained. I'm a little tired before I do this, but we could do it. And then as I got worked through, I was like, fuck, this was a bad choice. At best, I should have probably done something like StarCraft, but I have way too many videos of RTSs. Unless you count Anno, but I still have too many of that. God, my throat hurts. So yeah, if you want to play this game, it's on the channel for free. They have Patreon, but there's nothing on it. What else? If you want me to do this game, tell me, and I'll put more votes to it. It has won because somebody suggested it, I think. Let me just look at mi lista. What's it called? Journal? Yep, somebody voted for it, and that's why I did this thing. And yeah. Comment, guys, seems you like this or tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and would like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos to Yo. And please remember to spay new animals to help control the pet population and make it grow. And until next time, another quick look for a visual novel. Me, GamerWolfSix, have some other game. Let's have the random number generator do that, because we can do that, right? Random number generator. Gonna get my list of games. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Random number, ooh, not hash, that's 8. Generate, that's 1. So Burrows is next? Okay. And until next time, another quick look. Me, GamerWolfSix of Burrows. So thanks to you.